social media could be a very powerful thing if you choose to make it this, or it could be something that's very lethal. Everyone walks around wanting this particular thing or wanting to look like this specific type of individual. Now, ask yourself the question, is that something that you truly want to be, or is it something that you took from someone else that you saw? There is something that people want to see of you. You have been created to cater to a specific group of people. Believing in yourself, that alone will create change.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Unlock Creators podcast, a podcast in which the goal is to give you a lot of mindset gems from creators, entrepreneurs all around the world. And today we're in Dubai, and I have with me Sammy. Welcome, Sammy.
Thank you.
This is our first podcast together. So we actually met in London, right, for the
We
first
did.
time.
Yes,
And right now we're in beautiful Dubai
we are.
in the
Local time.
we don't
Almost
even know.
midnight.
Yeah, close to midnight. So we actually got an audience here in the back in the
Together.
Paramount Hotel, and yeah, we're filming a podcast. So
I'm pleased to be here. Thank you for having
you.
me and the invite. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. We actually had the meetup last night as well.
Yes.
At the lounge. So we obviously talked about like a lot of things, which I want to get into today as
Sure.
well for this time on camera.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's start with you. Like, what's your kind of like story? What's the background? What's your like journey in terms of like getting to create the content and everything?
Good question. So we can go back towards the beginning of this year, so 2024, at around June time. I started early this year making content, but I started taking it seriously during June. And the biggest thing that made this switch in my mind to want to pursue it in a way that you're taking it serious, you're investing yourself, you're investing in, your team, equipment. It's like a full business. I previously had a tutoring agency and I was doing very well. Basically, the business model worked well for me. I didn't necessarily like the fact that I had to do a lot of I was wearing all the hats in my agency, so I didn't feel like I was free. I felt very disconnected in a way because I was working constantly. I didn't really have time to myself. It was just back to back working. I didn't have anything automated. So anyway, it was an accumulation of a lot of effort that transformed into just being overwhelmed. And yeah, so that's what made me want to try something different. And I actually started the whole idea of social media because with my agency, I wanted to get more clients, and I thought all eyes are online, and that's the best way that I can reach more people. So I thought about creating a business Instagram page for my tutoring agency. I was doing it in a few different states so I could reach more people. So I started doing content on my Instagram page for my tutoring agency. And shortly after that, I noticed that I could honestly go a little bit further because if you look at a company-based Instagram page,
Yeah.
it's a lot different than, let's say, your personal brand, something that you're sharing publicly. It's two different techniques, approach. And so, yeah, so I don't want to say I gave up posting content on my business page, but it was more so I didn't know what I was doing. So
Okay.
I wanted to almost have the white canvas on me and take all of this knowledge that, of course, I'm still implementing into my business, into my own personal brand. And from this, I do plan on eventually down the road making something with my agency with Hillel Tutoring into something digital, but that's down the road. I think this is something I haven't told you, but basically right now I'm in the process of, creating something from scratch, being super confident in what I'm working on, what I'm doing. And yeah, I think I've only started, like I said, taking it seriously starting during June time. And yeah, so that's pretty much a little bit of how I started it.
Nice.
Started from wanting more clients for my agency. Started posting publicly on Instagram. Didn't like the approach that I was having with it, so I started my own page so that I can get a little bit more comfortable, publishing content, making content. There's a lot of behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see when they see a video online.
Yeah.
And so that alone, I wasn't aware of. And so, yeah, so I think looking back, I'm very, very further out into the journey. So yeah.
Definitely awesome. Yeah, I can really relate to that because like it's so similar to what I had because before I was in obviously I did music for so long, but
Mhm.
then I transitioned into business.
Mhm.
I had my own agency as well, creative agency, but then I realized I was only like chasing clients and chasing like contracts. And I
Okay.
wasn't actually like building anything like of substance, of meaning. It was just like purely for business, for the money. And so I think both of us like transitioning into now building our personal brands, it like it gives you a different sense of fulfillment.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Like
I agree with you.
sharing, we were talking about it last night, but like sharing parts of your life, parts of you with the people in the behind the scenes, like a day in Dubai, like what you're actually doing, and even like the small mistakes in the business and like, the quote unquote failures and lessons that you learn. I feel like that's such a great transition for you as well from like just having like an agency and being kind of cold with the
Yeah,
content to now
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
doing.
Mhm.
So what would you say right now is, because obviously we can talk about like the achievements and we will, but like I want to start with this and to like get deep into it. What would you say is the number one challenge for you right now in terms of the content?
Oh wow. I would say the biggest challenge for me in terms of content would be the amount of effort that
Yeah.
I'm putting into each piece of content.
Mm,
You're talking about content strategy, doing the script, strategizing a good hook, planning the whole scenes, the lighting,
yeah.
the making of the video. You mess up multiple over and over and over times, and you are editing it for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You post it and it only gets 300 views, if
Mm,
not less.
okay.
That's probably the biggest thing that I wouldn't say I'm struggling with. I don't know if that's the word, but that's like the closest I can get to what you're asking me. I don't see it as a struggle. I see it more so like, wow, like I only wish it was like it would be nice
Yeah.
to have more views and more effort and more, people seeing what I have to share to the world. Does it affect me? The answer is no. Because I genuinely like and I enjoy the process of me making a video, sitting down here with you, just talking, being myself, making content is essentially I'm just being me and I'm just pulling out a camera and then making something out of it. You know what I mean? Although, like I said, it does come with a lot of effort, but for the most part, like that process itself, that it's very lengthy, it's very fulfilling to me. I
Yeah.
just like to see like I'm working on this amazing thing and then seeing like the end result. I think it's amazing. And whether, only 300 people see it, I mean, put me in a room with 300 people. I feel like that's a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's really
Yeah.
how you see it, the perspective you give to it. So,
Yeah. I think it's definitely hard for us is because I even, it's not like now I'm in the billions of views and stuff. Like I still, I work on some videos that I think are amazing. They're the best.
Yeah.
I post them and they don't get as many views as I would have hoped for.
Uh-huh.
And so I think it's definitely hard for us as creators because we tend to be isolated in our small world.
Mhm.
We film, we edit, and then the things that the thing that happens is subconsciously you create kind of like this expectation in your mind that okay, I put in so much work that there must be some sort of like return from it.
Yes.
But the thing with this is that it's the numbers are just a delayed indicator of success. Because it's like what happened for me as well. When I started, even though I grew brands before, when I started my own personal brand, like
Uh-huh.
earlier this year,
Mhm.
I was posting for like I had been posting for like 3 months and a half, and I had 100 followers, like nothing to show for it. Like it was nothing was really working, to be honest, and it was stuck. Like the account was just stuck. And I remember, I'll never forget it. I was having like lunch, 'cause this Christmas meal with my parents, and like at that point, I had the first video that got like 2 comments with like people asking, what we were doing. Like, "Ooh, you're doing this as well." It's like you ask people for like a,
Sure,
you
like a
comment
trigger
like a
word.
keyword, and then you basically do the automation in the back end, and you
Mhm.
give people something. So I had like the first video with 2 people leaving a comment, and I was so excited about it. Even though like to others it might seem crazy because it's just like 2 people. To me, it was like confirmation that I am on the right path.
Mm.
And I remember my parents going, but it's just like nothing is, you know what I mean? Like you're not making money from this. But again, this is because most people outside from the outside looking in,
Mhm.
they could just see what's in front of them.
Mhm.
Whereas I think we as creators, we have to build the vision in our own mind of like what it could be. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to
100%.
do that. So like my question with this is like, how do you like what's the number one advice you would give someone that like right now struggles with, they're putting in the work but they don't see the views? Like how do you deal with that? Like
Yeah, that's a good question.
do you have a hack or like a
I just really think that the biggest thing is mindset.
yeah.
It's the perspective that you give to it. Like anything in life, not necessarily just related to content creation. It's just you choose to make something bad or
Yeah.
something good. So it's really essentially the meaning that you give to it. So let's say if you see it as 100 people being a small number, honestly, you could be getting 50 or 30,
Yeah.
So in the situation that you're in right now, people watching this podcast, I think that someone else out there in the world will take your situation in a heartbeat.
Yes.
So yeah, so I think that's the biggest piece of advice that I can give to someone. Just, what is your perspective on it? It honestly changes within your power. If you're not having the results you want to have, it generally comes from you, and you cannot hold anyone else responsible for that but yourself. And if it means reevaluating, analyzing, what am I doing wrong, what can I improve, then go at it. And it's not something that you're going to analyze one time and then you're going to implement. It's like a constant effect, a constant change that you have to be doing every time to finally see those results. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Amazing. Yeah. I completely agree. I think for me what it was in those moments when the results didn't like, they weren't what I expected, what I wanted. What kept me going was first of all the obviously the vision for what it could be,
Mm-hmm.
but the number one thing for me was like the satisfaction that I had in knowing that I'm actually building something for myself,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not just
Right.
doing it, you know what I mean? I'm not like I've started to, especially lately, be so like distant. I distance myself from like that obsession with like the numbers. With
Yeah.
now, I'm like, is this content what I'm making right now providing value to at least like one person? Because if it is, then I've done my job. And
Sure.
like for me, I've had a lot of previously, like before working on the personal brand, so many different projects, and especially with music. I had a career of 12 years, something like that, out of which like let's say 5 were like super locked in, like super intense,
Okay.
investing thousands and tens of thousands of dollars into what I was doing because I was an independent artist. And that taught me the importance of what? The importance of persistence despite not getting results.
Oh,
Like
wow.
when everyone is looking at you,
Yeah.
like, dude, you're crazy. Like you're getting 200 views. Like, why are you still going?
Yeah.
Well, because number one, I do it for, I think the best, most successful people do things because they just genuinely want to build something and provide it to the world. Like not just like for me.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
think
like
that's really where
yeah.
where the difference is when it comes to the average person just seeing you making content and then they get inspired to make content and then
Yeah.
they start doing it and then they're just doing it, for the
Yeah,
sake of
that's
other
yeah.
people, rather than you have a whole purpose behind it. So they're doing it, for the spotlight, or this is what I can get from this. I can sell X amount of, courses or mentorships, and then just for the money aspect of it. But I feel like once you've delved into it, you realize that there's a lot more to it. So yeah, so I like what you said.
Yeah.
You said that the fact that you can create something to give to people,
Yeah.
rather than you being the main, I'm here making content, look what I've got, I'm here in Dubai, you know what I mean? Like, I think these are things that come with it, but it's not necessarily the spotlight. It's not the main
Yeah.
focus.
Definitely. I mean, people cling on to the spotlight and what's the highlight, right? The reels, they just cling on to that, but they forget that behind the scenes, we are having low moments. We are having moments in which we're feeling like we're going insane with like
Yeah.
you're sitting there creating so much. And then I know you said this last night and I related it to it like so much. You said like sometimes I'm just wondering like what am I actually doing? You know what I mean? Like it feels like you're lost in this. Like am I in this phase of like showing more of me, or like the pre-launch, or my launch, like what am I doing? So they don't see those moments. And so it's really, the thing is, content, I know for everyone, and like getting the attention is super attractive, right? Because you get that's the thing, they only see the benefits. But what I've realized also from like helping people now in like in my program is like a lot of people, they initially, at least, they want your results their way. Like they don't want the struggle, right? Everyone is jealous of like what you got. No one is jealous of how you got it. Like no one is jealous of the hours you're putting in, like every night, editing, like being tired, being overwhelmed. No one is jealous of that.
Yeah.
Like everyone is jealous of like what you got and they want your spot, but without the actual work. So
Sure.
what would you say to someone who's like, I want to take the shortcuts. I want to do this in like 2 months, like, because otherwise, the people who put like deadlines for themselves, like who said deadlines, like what would you say to them? Like what's the kind of like, what's the perspective shift on that? What helped you in this entire process with like just keeping on going?
So let me make sure I understand.
Yeah.
Basically, what would I say to someone
Yeah.
that wants a quick
Yeah,
turnaround?
like a quick, like if I don't get this in 2 months, I'm gonna stop. Like,
Yeah, I think that the moment you set an expectation on anything,
Yep.
you're setting up yourself for failure. Like, that's the formula. That's the not like if that's
that's the
what you
golden
want.
rule.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how to get you to not finish anything, not start anything in life. If you want quick results, and if you are chasing something, it's not impossible to get within a specific time frame, but you have to plan, you have to be disciplined, you have to um, constantly remind yourself of the why behind it. So that's what I can tell someone. Just don't expect anything to happen, because it's happened to all of us. We want something by this time, or by the end of the year, I should have this, or I should have accomplished this. But the moment we set that barrier for us to hit and we don't hit it, it just and you're setting an expectation that it's unrealistic, that could hurt you and your confidence, self-confidence within yourself, your self-trust. Because when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're essentially hurting your relationship with yourself,
Yes.
and that holds you back from wanting to do it again and try even harder than last time after you failed.
Definitely.
So yeah, so I don't think anyone should really set yes, it is healthy to set deadlines and to say by this time I want to be here and I want to accomplish this by the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month. But how are you going about it? What is your perspective on it? Again, it's going back to perspective. What is your intention behind it? If it's, to inspire you to get you going after
Yeah.
something, not with a feeling of I better be at this place.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
like,
otherwise, like
yeah,
I'm not gonna do this again. It's
yeah,
not for me. And you go in it with such a negative gray
yeah,
cloud over you. So yeah, so just again, it just depends on how you approach it and your perspective on it.
yeah.
So yeah.
I think a lot of people make it super tough for themselves to win. Like they self sabotage with all of these different things. Like I have to get this by this time, otherwise I'm a failure. I have to do this, otherwise. And what people don't realize is that when you're starting something from scratch, whether it's content creation, that new business, even going to the gym, like for the first time,
Mhm.
you will feel weak at first. You will feel kind of, kind of dumb at first before feeling smart, before being like seasoned in it, because that is the way of life. Like that applies to anything you want to start. So a lot of people with like I've seen and I've had those moments, like some moments myself, I cannot lie, but I obviously like pulled myself out of that. I had those moments when I was like, I should have these results. Like I should. But that's the ego, and like you said, that's it's the whole you setting some expectations for yourself when no one else is like
Yeah.
really cares, and you're the I genuinely think like we're the only ones that can truly like block ourselves
Yeah,
with,
100%.
you know what I mean? Like there's no like system that is blocking us. Instagram is not blocking you. The algorithm, like it's all up in the mind. So because we're on this topic, I think overcoming and identify. So for me right now, I'm in the business of identifying self-limiting beliefs
Mm.
for myself first and foremost, and then for others. But identifying self-limiting beliefs and then destroying them. So let's get into this for a bit because I think it's a really valuable thing for the audience. What would you say right now is your number one limiting belief?
My number one limiting belief right now.
It could be with content or with life in general, with anything.
Um, I'm not getting one popping up at the very top of my head. It's something that I have also been working for the last 3 months. I have been every time, every day after I wake up, first thing I do is I write, I journal.
That's good.
And when I journal about what's on my mind right now. How am I feeling? What are my what are my emotions right now?
Mm-hmm.
How do I want my day to look like? And so during those moments, I've my self beliefs have started to tap in, and I notice them, and I don't necessarily push them away. I just notice them. You become an observer, and then I've been working through them. I do it through meditation, blah blah blah. So maybe this is a good time. That is like, okay, like where are they? I don't
Yeah.
really see. I just don't. Let me see. I've worked through them through meditation, like I said. So I'm not really getting any right now. But if I think hard enough, I think would be the fact that who are you and why would people want to listen to you?
Yeah.
I think that's one that can come up in my mind. Let's say like creating a whole program,
Yeah.
you know, a whole program that I am creating, scaling other girls' business online, digital businesses, personal brands, and I can connect with them because I'm a girl and I feel like I have what it takes to scale a business because like I said with my agency, I was making decent amount a month for my age, and that alone gave me the confidence that I can do it. But at the same time, there's some things that pop up sometimes that I've never done social media before. I've only taken, let's say, my one mentorship that I've learned from. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean that the information that I have learned this whole time doesn't it takes me away from what I can offer to people.
Yeah.
Again, it's just what I've told myself. So I think that's one that comes up right now. Um, but yes.
Yeah. So on that, I think we've already talked about this, but on that, I would say you are enough. Like, like you have to, like, whenever you're approaching the content game, like you're creating, you have to get this through your head, like, I'm enough. Like, whatever my story was so far, has been so far, that's enough. Like, it's good enough, it's only up from here. I mean, I'm enough to give to the world,
Mm.
because I have this as well constantly, and it's something that, again, identifying the self-limiting beliefs has kind of become like a hobby for me right now.
Oh wow.
So I am self-confident. I do believe in myself, like, 1000%. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to build this.
Mm-hmm.
However, I like to really call myself out on the things that are going on in my head. And this, for me, is a reoccurring thing, like underlying thing. Sometimes you have those days when you're like, am I good enough? And I try to like reprogram my mind to be like, yes, you are, not only good enough, you're the right person to actually do this.
Oh,
Because if you're not the number one fan of yourself, if you don't big yourself up, how else are you gonna build an audience of like millions of people listening to you?
yeah.
You know what I mean? If
I agree
you
with
don't believe in yourself, because a lot of people on social media, like, you see them with the content, but it's like, even if they do some numbers, unless they fully believe in themselves, there's only so much faking you can do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are going to get to that point where you're going to launch the program. And if you don't believe in yourself, then basically the program is like you asking someone else to believe in you and to pay you for
Sure.
the value. So it's gonna show. So number one thing, you are enough. And number one, and the second thing is, what do you have to lose? Like, there's nothing to lose with this, like, there are no, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you posted a video and it flopped, quote unquote. So what? Like, you just learn from the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm always telling people, like, try to post at least 100 reels on your, like, if you're starting from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Post 100 videos without even looking at the numbers.
Sure.
Because I posted in total, until like my first video went viral, in total, I think 150.
Oh wow.
And that's like almost 4 months of me posting and getting 100 views.
Wow.
But in the back of my mind, I was born with this, that delusion of like, no, I'm gonna make it. Like that delusion, that almost like crazy self-confidence, even when, especially my family and even like close friends were like, dude, I don't really know if this is gonna work. I was always the type to say like, no, it is gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. It doesn't matter. Like, you're wrong, I'm right. Like, like having that, because like you have an option. You have, you get to make a decision. You get to either like program yourself with the delusion of scarcity, like, I'm not good enough. This is never gonna work. I'm not getting views. I'm not that scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ever get a new client or whatever. Or the delusion of abundance, like, yeah, I can make anything work. I can make whatever video work. It's just,
Sure.
and so you're always like, that's the thing, is for you as well, especially at this point of your journey, you're always one video away from taking off, from like completely changing everything. Like, you're always one video away. And when you're in the process, you tend to forget that. Like, when you're posting something you work so hard on that video, it's not getting the views, but you tend to forget that. But like, that's the secret. Like, you're constantly one video away.
Sure.
Whenever you're pressing post, like, think, this could be the one. This could be the one. Because eventually, by universal law, like, you can never fail if you constantly show up. Like, if you just show up, if you never quit, there's no failing. Like, the only real failure in my mind is like quitting, being like, no, this isn't possible. Because the truth is, what we're doing is, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's for everyone, because it's not. Like, would you say like creating content is like for everyone in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that? Like,
Sorry. Say that again.
yeah, would you say that creating content and like building and growing an audience, building a personal brand is for everyone?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just think that it takes the right people.
Mhm.
Even like, let's say someone can start, anyone can really do it, right? People start their own channels, their own Instagram pages, but
Yeah.
they don't even follow through. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it takes the right person to show up every day, again, constantly give value. Doesn't matter if you are going to get something out of it.
Yeah.
It takes the right person to do that. So no, I don't think it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Even though people may want to do it, they can do it and then they stop, and that's okay too, because it's not. I'm sure
Maybe
this
it's
one
not for you.
This one person, they're gonna be amazing at doing something that I'm not gonna be doing. I'm not gonna be amazing at doing. So I think that everyone has potential. Everyone does have potential. If you twist the question, everyone does have potential to do whatever they want that they feel is their calling. And again, it doesn't, nothing, it's not the end of the world if someone who stops making content. If there's someone watching this that happened to them, I think that it's fine. There's something else that you're good at.
Yeah, you just have to, what I would say is to never stop searching for that thing, right? So keep trying things, even if it's like, okay,
Yes.
you might be super attracted, to this idea of like creating content, flashy things.
Yeah.
You go try it, if
Yeah,
it's not for you,
yeah.
and it's fine. Like, don't
Yeah.
view that as a failure, because a lot of people, they see closing a chapter in your life as a failure.
Sure.
It happened to me with like music. When I made the decision, and I swear to God, it was the easiest decision in 2022 in the summer. We had just filmed a couple of music videos, like expensive ones. Like, I invested a lot in it. I went to this one party with the music industry. I looked at everyone. I was like, this isn't for me. I stopped.
Wow.
It was the easiest decision ever. And mind you, that was my life for like
Yeah.
basically most of my life.
Yeah.
So
I don't mean to cut you off, but I was taking a mastermind recently. And one of the things that I took away from that mastermind was that sometimes around us, I mean, not sometimes, actually, always, there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of, shining things, shiny objects.
Yeah.
And sometimes we adapt someone else's interests, someone else's likings, lifestyle, but it doesn't even belong to us. It's not even us.
Yeah.
So, and again, social media could be a very powerful thing if you choose to make it this, or it could be something that's very lethal for your own being, for your own health, mental health, emotional health, physical health. I just think about, everyone walks around wanting this particular thing or wanting to look like this specific, type of individual. Now, ask yourself the question, is that something that you truly want to be, or is it something that you have, that you took from someone else, that you saw, that you think you wanted, but you actually don't, and it's not you? It's something that you think you want. It's sort of like there is a gap in between that you're fulfilling. You haven't done the inner work thinking about what is it, who am I? You know what I mean? So you're adapting, you're intaking other people's personalities, identities into yours, but it's not really you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not really you. That's powerful, because I feel like a lot of people, most people, unfortunately, they're, especially nowadays, they're so distracted that they don't even. The thing with me is like, why don't you stop?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop running, stop chasing,
Mm-hmm.
stop finding ways to escape your
Yes.
current life,
Yes.
and find ways to build the life that you don't need to escape from. For example, like the number one question that I would ask everyone is, if I would give you all of the money in the world, like 10 billion, whatever, 20, whatever number, right? All the money. If money wouldn't be an issue, would you still do what you're currently doing?
Yes.
So the answer is yes for you, right?
Mhm.
Same
Yeah,
for
my
me.
fiance actually asked me this question. He asked me this question recently, but he asked me, if you had all the money in the world. Actually, no, he did ask me that, like, specific, but I think he said he also related it to, let's say, would you be in London? Is this what you would want to do? And the answer is yes. If I had everything, I feel like the only thing that I would probably do more would be travel every other week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than traveling.
You would do this, what we're doing right now, just more of it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the thing. Like you do it more, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. So like you think I may think I want this, but it's not. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's not really. It's not right now. That may be something I want because again, why? Ask yourself why. Is it because I'm feeling overwhelmed with work? Is it because I feel overwhelmed with my relationships? Do I need a break? Why am I getting that thought? Why do I think I need to go away for every other week?
yeah.
So again, like question everything around you so that you get to the bottom line and identify if this is something that you actually want to do. So yeah.
Yeah, what's the reason? What's the why behind everything? Like the number one question that everyone should ask themselves first and foremost is like, even when you're getting like this bottle of water, ask yourself, why am I getting this and not the other one?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
with the most basic
Yeah.
things, because it
Yeah.
goes back to what you were saying with like people taking stuff from others.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking about content and building a personal brand, you have to look at yourself as the hero in the mirror. Like
Okay.
you're the hero. You get to build out almost like a movie. Like you're the movie character. You're the hero. And
Mm-hmm.
you're not only the movie character, the main character in your journey, you're also the director.
Wow. Okay.
So you get to be like, okay, in 5 years from now, I want the movie character to look like this.
Sure.
One of my best friends asked me, what what did you do to become this way? Like even like dress this way, speak this way, act in this type of manner. Obviously do the things that you're doing. And I told him, first of all, I got a piece of paper and I literally wrote down like what my character, like a video game character, like movie character, what I want my characters to be like. I
Wow.
want him to dress like this, in this suit, like wear this watch, talk like this. This wasn't random for me. Like it's been work in the making. Like basically me taking my current life and being like, okay, we're going to upgrade this, erase this, and we're going to upgrade the character to this. Again, the type of car, the life, the you know what's so crazy to me? I literally put on my vision board like earlier this year when I had 180 followers, something like that. I put like 50,000 followers on my vision board along with travel, along with everything. And that's been achieved in terms of the numbers. But I've literally, and this is so scary, I've envisioned what we're doing right now. I have envisioned it when I had 50 followers, like when I had
That's
nothing.
crazy.
I built the life that I'm currently living like a couple of months ago.
Oh my gosh. That's
And it's
powerful.
and it's not random. Like it's not random at all. I know, like to you at home, if you're going through a rough patch, for some people it might seem like, oh, forget this, but it's real. Like if you build like your vision, and if you're really honest with yourself, first and foremost, you got to be honest. Ask yourself what is the reason. But if you build that dream life for you without any sort of limitations, like if you're really specific with it, and if you're putting in the work to actually get there, I cannot explain it because it sounds so, poetic and stuff, but it will happen. Like
Mhm.
it's because
Yeah.
I even went to the extreme, and I haven't shared this before. Might sound weird, but I went to the extreme of like writing this entire manifesto of my dream life, a day in my dream life. Waking up in at that time it was in Bali, how I'm waking up next to my partner. She's like this. She's acting like this. I'm acting like this. We're having this breakfast, like super specific. I'm getting a workout in, whatever, like super specific, right? I wrote that entire manifesto for one day,
Okay.
recorded it, right?
You recorded like,
Recorded
your
it,
voice?
recorded myself,
Okay.
like doing basically the voiceover,
Right.
and then played it for so many nights. I played that like when I go to bed, and I'm listening to it to brainwash myself, you know what I mean? Into like thinking, yeah, this is the life. Because the biggest secret is to see it. It's like walk, what it says in the Bible, walk by faith, not by sight. It's to see it in your eye, like in front of you when it's not here. When everyone else will call you crazy. When everyone else will say, Sammy, why are you still filming so much? Why aren't you going out? Like you need to relax more. It's because you're already seeing something that is not there, you know,
Mhm.
but you're seeing it.
The
So
fact that you can see this, look, we're getting real deep in here.
let's
So
go.
I'm following along.
I know
But
you would. So yeah.
basically, we live our world is a world of infinite possibilities. Okay.
Mhm.
What does that mean? That means that we can create anything at any given time. This reality right now, it's one of a million thousand, or I don't think that's a word, but a million,
Yeah.
1 trillion realities. Yes. So how can we like conceptualize this? How can we like put it into now?
Yeah.
The fact that you can see it in your brain, you can envision it, feel it, it's because that reality actually already exists in a universe that it's infinite, in a universe that we are already in. It's just like this is the now. There's really not the future. There's no. This is the future. This is the past. Like we're in this capsule that everything is happening at once.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you can see it, you can feel it, you know it, it already exists. It's just a matter of time for this particular thing to show up in your life.
Yeah.
As long as you continue to follow that path, because everything, it's like a frequency. So if you follow that frequency, it's going to get you there. If you drop it slightly, you're going to reach a slightly different outcome. So everything that you're doing, so there's never coincidences. Nothing happens just for the sake of it. So just trust what you're doing. It's very powerful when you start seeing it, even the smallest thing, like, what things happen for me to be sitting down with you, recording this podcast. Why? I don't even know why, but
Same.
we're going to see it down the road. I have no idea.
Same.
And
Yeah.
that's like the fact of creating something. We're, in a way, content creators. That's what it is. We're creating something that,
We're creating a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you said about like frequencies. That's so powerful because whatever you want in life is on a frequency spectrum, like on a whatever frequency
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah.
and that frequency already exists. We've just been like a couple of hours ago to like First Motors here in Dubai. We're looking at all of the supercars, like 10 million plus,
Oh,
for
wow.
like a car. And I realized, again, I swear to God, I was looking at that Lamborghini because like my dream car is like the Lamborghini, and it was looking back at me almost like saying like, and I know like to most people I would sound crazy, but I don't care. Like it was looking back at me almost like saying, like I'm yours, like hurry up, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like I'm yours, and I was telling this to like the team, like I'm yours, like, and I just realized it's just a matter of time until I reach that frequency, which aligns with the frequency of the Lambo in this case, and like we're matching, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because and I've shared this before, but like one of the best advice, if not the best advice that I got from one of my mentors,
Mhm.
a CEO and founder, um, he told me, like, I asked him, like, what's the best advice that you could give me right now for my
Mhm.
journey? And he said, it's not no business advice, no nothing, is this. Don't tell yourself I'm going to be successful, because that tells your brain you're just not successful yet.
Right.
So what you do instead is you create again that character of yourself with whatever you want that character to have, but again, be super specific and make a list of all of the different habits and activities, and like again, be specific that person, that version of you is doing, and then embody those habits.
Mhm.
And on a long enough time frame, you will have what that
Sure.
version
Yeah.
has, because you
Yeah.
are successful. You're not like becoming successful, you are being successful.
Already.
Like what you said as well, everything fast, past, future, whatever is, everything is now.
Yes.
Everything is now. So you are now, you are being successful right now. The fact it doesn't, like, the views doesn't matter. The fact that we're here right now in this hotel filming this in this moment, let's just take a moment to realize that we are being successful regardless of the views. Like, we are.
I
We
agree.
are. Because, like you said, there were so many things along the way that had to happen for me to be in this situation, like here with you talking like this.
Mhm.
To me, it still feels like, I don't know, like this whole Dubai thing, like it felt so surreal. So yeah, to kind of like come back from that, because I know we went like super deep, but again, it's super important because most people watching want to know what's the most viral, like they might want to know, like, what's the most viral hook I can use. Or, but you and I, we both know that there's something more to creating content. There's like the mindset thing, is
Mhm.
the way you are as a person, like not only like what hook you're using, like what angle. But what I wanted to ask you on a, like a really, human level is like, how do you balance, the, because I which I really admire from you, is like this thing where like you're not stopping, like your work ethic is amazing and I really
Thank you.
respect it. And how do you balance, that, like putting in the work, filming, with your own personal life, your relationships, just going out, relaxing? Like, how do you balance that? Because I'm asking, because I might be able to learn something from you, because like I'm kind of bad at it. Like, I tend to fall into that extreme of like overworking.
Yeah. I think that honestly, it's a learning process,
It is, yeah.
and it's still a learning process for me. I know that I reach flow state when I'm working, hence why I am so invested into what I do, because to me, I don't I don't drag myself out of bed to make content, to make my automations, to make my funnels. I wake up wanting to do it.
Yeah.
So that alone gets me so involved into it that sometimes I forget there's a life outside of that. And some people may be affected by it, like my relationship with my mother, with my sister, with my in laws, for instance, with my fiance, let's put it this way. Um, that I must prioritize, because you are coming home to them whether you are at the top or you're at the bottom. Like, these are people that are always going to be there for you. And I know this sounds very cliche. I feel like this is something that, you're hearing all the time.
No, it's,
Your family's always there for you.
yeah.
Make sure that you prioritize them. But at the end of the day, you cannot give what's the last little bit piece of you left to the people that give you so much.
Mm,
You know what do I mean by that? I mean that at the end of the day, after you've had, a super busy day with work and just creating and connecting, you can't really give them the last piece of you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's something that I'm still working on myself, because again, I enjoy what I do so much, and to some other people, they may not understand it, because it's like, why are you doing this over and over again? You're not really doing anything from it yet. You're not, like, you're at the very early stages. Why? So they don't really understand. But to me, like you were saying, it's like a whole world.
Yeah.
I'm like in fantasy world sometimes. And so it's something that I'm still working on, balancing my life. I do take one day out of the week to fully disconnect, and that means I don't use my phone. I shut my phone off once a week for 24 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and I just fully I'm present. And after I moved to London, it's been harder for me because I wake up a little later for like time differences. This actually started back with my agency because I was working American hours. Um, so I kind of got used to this routine of waking up late and going to sleep late. Like, I go to sleep around like between like 2 and 3 a.m. sometimes in London. Like, it happens a lot more than I like it to. And so I've gotten into this routine. And so it's like a huge disconnect.
Mm,
Whereas when I was in Vegas, I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning, going to the gym. So again, it's just like readjusting. Like, how can you? It's a constant shift of what am I doing wrong? How can I improve? And the biggest thing that I can tell you, Andre, if you want to do something to balance your life with like a gazillion things that we're all tackling, not only for content creators, I feel like if you have a business period, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a mom, if you're a dad, I feel like
You've got so much on you.
writing, yes, yes. But writing is the one thing that I think we take for granted because it's such a thing that it's just, everyone can do.
Yeah.
But when you write, and even if it's just the smallest little thing, like whatever it is that you're writing about,
Yeah.
it creates such a connectivity with yourself
Mm-hmm.
that you become better at it, and you become a lot more alert, more you can see things. It's almost like your third eye opens in a way. So I think that's the biggest thing that you need to do when it comes to balancing your life and your work. But again, I'm still in it myself. I'm still trying to accommodate what I'm doing throughout the day so that I can show up better in other people's lives. I'm very blessed and I'm very thankful that I have all support from my family, from my fiance doing what I do. And my work doesn't add friction to my relationships just because they support it so much
Mm-hmm.
that I'm able to do it. And so I can work around it easily. But in a situation that it's not your case, I think that the biggest thing is just planning ahead, writing things down, being intentional, and 100% discipline. Because you can't do all of this 100%. You can sit down and write it all down. But if you don't actually implement action and drive with that particular thing, it's nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you have to have a certain level of basically a feedback loop that is so good, a self feedback, like you by yourself, like you said, like okay, I made a mistake today, tomorrow, done. Like I've worked on it, I've improved it, and that comes through sheer amounts of just pure discipline because you have a lot of days when you just don't want to do it.
Yes.
You don't want to film.
Yes.
Recently, I filmed a YouTube video right like before the flight, a couple of hours ago. I filmed this YouTube video, and I just didn't want to. Like I felt awful doing it. I don't know. It was the mood. It was whatever. Like I didn't want, but I went through it. Like I pushed through it, and by the end of it, I was feeling so much better because I was like, yes, like this is. So the more, whenever I treat it like this, because we were talking about your hero character in dream life, in all of the moments of your life, every basic, like, okay, I wake up, should I go to the gym or not? Ask yourself, what would that hero do? And make that decision. Sometimes it's really tough, but that's what I'm trying to implement right now. It's like I'm here in Dubai. What would that hero version of myself do?
Yeah.
Well, it would find a way for us to like film a podcast, like create content rather than just go in and I don't know, like spending money or like getting wasted in a club just because others are doing it.
Yeah.
And so the more you do that, the more decisions like that you're gonna make, like they're gonna stack, and all of these small wins are gonna compound, and it's the compound effect,
Yeah.
and it's gonna basically turn you into, like a beast, like in a good way. And
Sure.
so yeah, it's there's so much to all of this. And if you're someone watching right now trying to create content, a business, just or maybe like get some extra income other than your like 9 to 5, there is so much more to escaping whatever prison you've built for yourself without knowing, like that. I call it the glass prison because like people or you yourself you should be able to see through it, but like there's so much more to this. So wrapping up like this entire mindset gem talk, what's the if you could like share something with people in terms of like them actually making whatever change they want in their life, like just a short piece of advice, what would that be? like
Making a change in their life.
yeah, like just improving their life, like escaping whatever prison they're in right now. What would that thing be? Because I know there's so much, but
I think the biggest thing is believing in yourself and knowing that you
yes,
have power,
yes,
that you can do it. Even if you think that you're only good at painting,
yeah,
you have massive potential.
yeah,
There is something that people want to see of you. You have been created to cater to a specific group of people, and you're yet there to be at this specific moment in your life if you
hmm
just believe in yourself.
yeah.
So just believing in yourself, that alone will create change.
Awesome. That's definitely something that I would say as well. I've always said this. If I were to start, quick preview here, hint, a university, like a real life university,
Mm-hmm.
like an institution, the number one course in class would be on like self belief.
Yeah.
It would be on self belief because we're taught to not believe in ourselves from school. We're programmed to be afraid of trying, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of learning, afraid of going through life.
Sure.
And so when trying to genuinely build something bigger than yourself, like a business or content, it all starts from there. So yeah, I 100% agree, because if I didn't believe in myself, there would be like no way for me to be here like
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Yes, exactly.
And again, it's sometimes it entails you having that delusional confidence, self-confidence, so that you can actually take it there. And yeah, it's a lot, but I think we've definitely went through a lot. I'm really excited to like see how this like content journey is gonna develop for like the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
um
Beautiful.
yeah, it's honestly, it's been, I don't know, like sitting here, and I've like, we got the team here and everything, and I'm constantly telling them like, guys, we're here in like Dubai, can you believe it, like everything is happening like what we're talking about. And it's, to me, yeah, it still feels surreal, but I try to like always be grateful,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm aware I've been given a lot of gifts and a lot of chances that I didn't deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always choose to, I always say like, use whatever, because we're all going through stuff, we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
Use whatever pain and whatever struggle you have, use that as a platform, not as a prison.
Yes.
Like use that as a way for you to connect with people, because it's been given to you as a gift, and it's your responsibility really to use that for the greater good, to help others.
Yes.
So
I
if you have anything else to add, or should we
Let me
wrap this up?
I think that one last thing is that in addition to believing in yourself,
Yeah,
that action itself needs to carry action.
yes,
That itself needs to carry action, because if you can believe in yourself, show that through your actions, through your everyday life, through your habits, through your thoughts, emotions, and how you show up every day. And that will translate into a whole new life that you are fully capable of achieving.
awesome. Awesome. So, guys, there we have it. Another episode of the Unlock Creator podcast, and it's been amazing to spend time with you, talk to you. I think you have so much to give to the world. Like I said, through the
Thank you.
content, love your energy, your mindset. I think you're already doing amazing things. So you're gonna do more amazing things. And that's the plan for Unlock Creators, as I previously mentioned. Travel the world and connect with entrepreneurs, connect with creators, and build this network, because at the end of the day, no matter how much technology is advancing, no matter how much craziness is going on with the AI, the number one thing that people will always want is meaningful connections. Is basically this,
Mhm.
which is like the human side of it. So hopefully, I'll see one of you watching, or more of you watching, in a place around this matrix. And yeah, thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thank you for having me.